Excellent. Thank you.
There's Peter.
Hi, Nuno.
Wonderful.
In a red shirt.
Hi, Payson.
Yes.
Hi, Diane.
You look great.
Hey,
Yeah.
Bernadette.
Yeah, and a red
Bernadette.
For blood. Red
for
for blood.
blood.
Hi,
It
Paula.
looks good on you. Yeah.
Hi, Jilly.
Red for heart.
Is it time for a color coordination party?
Hi, Nareen.
Guys,
Hi, Noreen.
Hi, Noreen. Hi, Noreen.
Hi, how are you?
you know that in Portuguese we have two words for red. One of them is encarnado, which is almost the same as incarnate or incarnation.
That's
What's
the
the other
whole
one?
idea.
Yes.
We need blood.
Yes. How's your mother? How's your mother?
For that, we needed water
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
and ice and air and DNA, RNA.
Look at all the happy faces.
Hi, Alfred.
Hi, Alfred.
Hey, Alfred.
Wonderful to see you. Look great.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Yuri.
Maria? Your mother?
Maria.
Yes.
Yes. She's preparing today for two major examinations tomorrow, endoscopia and colonoscopy.
Wow.
So she's, she's doing it, everything she has to.
Hey, Julie.
Yes.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diana.
Hi, Diana.
Hi,
Hi,
Diana.
Diana.
Hey everyone.
Hello, Diana Carol.
Hey,
Diana.
Julie.
Hi, Diana.
Hey, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Your hair looks nice, Joey.
Thank you.
Hi, Judy.
Paula, Deb,
Hey.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Ann, hey Bernadette.
Hi, Ed.
Hi,
Hi,
Sunny.
Sunny.
See you.
Honey. Hi, Sunny.
Hey, Sunny.
Hey, Sunny. And you're not holding your phone up.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
Catherine.
Esther.
Hi, Esther.
How are you?
Hi, Esther.
Hi, Esther.
Esther.
Hello.
Hi, Esther.
Hi, Wendy.
Esther.
Hector.
Hector.
Judy.
So many voices. Hi.
You're so cute. I
Hi,
love
Bonnie.
you.
Bonnie.
Hey,
Hey,
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Hey, Bonnie.
I can help bring in everybody. They're done. Let's get the party started.
Yes.
I want to say
It's
thank
recorded.
you, Peter.
It's
Thank you,
recording.
Peter, for the RV email you just sent.
Yes.
Yes,
Very good
exciting.
update. Yeah.
Gets
I haven't read it.
getting closer. Yeah,
Yes.
they, both Jane and Billy sent me copies. So they were completely identical.
Yeah.
You wanted to make sure you got it. Yeah.
Yeah, they've sent me hundreds of copies through time, and it hasn't happened, but we're getting closer. And things like the quantum, hi Hector, quantum
Hi, Hector.
Hi, Hector.
digital computing systems in place. We didn't have that before. Remember, there's no such thing as a quantum analog computer because the power that is required is too immense. You will, as what you're doing, as part of what you're doing, become that immense power. And once you master the quantum to change weather locally in 45 minutes, you will be able to eliminate all accumulated dots for yourself or somebody else in 44.5 seconds. It'll actually take you 0.45 seconds, but their conscious won't believe it. It's that fast. So we go to the next fractal, which is 4.5 from 0.45 to 4.5. So we're
It's
adding
like-
4 seconds.
Just like you
Or
do for
that.
our precious Nell. Just like you do for our precious Nell.
Yes, every morning. And she does all kinds of things like, I get your gifts. But we still do it. And so at some level, she knows it. As you can see, we used to have 81 steps. We're now at 44.
Yay, for simplification.
Simplification.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we've added relationships, which will help you hone in even more.
The threes?
The threes, correct. So that's also in because of the acceleration. It's totally different than it was before the accelerations on the 16th of this month. Totally different. You don't have to wait 5 years. But that's not something that's been gifted to you. It's something you've earned.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And it's big.
Here.
It's big.
Hey, Judy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see little examples also. For example, Noreen found a really excellent GIF, and it's a bunch of dolphins jumping, making a heart.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank
And
you.
that was,
Love that.
yeah, I do too.
That was great.
That was shared with Lynn and Cammie. Now, Lynn answered, Cammie didn't. Cammie hasn't even seen it. She will see it because I sent it to her also.
Yeah.
So, and then yesterday at the Broadmoor, I spent 3 hours with Ed Lanson. And many of you remember Ed.
Sure.
Now, in that key part, it says one of the things is look where the physical growths are, and that will help your clearing enormously. Well, Ed had a physical growth back when we spent time with him in 2014, and that growth is 4 times as big as it used to be.
Wow.
4 times. And it is exactly as its third eye. So it simply means that there are beliefs included in what he sees. And beliefs kill it. And he has a new growth on to the left of that, which is self-love. And also at the lunch was Cynthia Rose. And as soon as I said that, she shook her head yes. Now, her profession is in labs, and she's a manager. She runs labs, and they look at blood and they look at all sorts of things. But the point is, everything we talk about is real. And it's not insignificant. It's very significant.
Yes.
And if you look at everything that is in that opening couple pages, it's unbelievable. So,
It just keeps getting better and better and better.
yeah,
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
it's our source of miracles. And all of you, before you know it, some of you already are achieving miracles. You're not used to it.
Yes.
And you talk yourself out of it. Or you try to, using your consciousness. Well, consciousness, it's all conscious thought, brain, mind. They're all small letters. They're all electrical. They all use delay. They can be and are programmed. Your quantum doesn't get programmed. Your magnificence never gets programmed. And now there's 6 things for your magnificence. Thoughts, words, actions, timing, and the new one is pivot, ahas, the mystical TMMs, they're all coming from your consciousness or from your magnificence. And it's with you every single day and night.
Thought is there.
Pardon me?
Thought is part of the magnificence in the
Thoughts?
the nows.
No, thoughts are excluded because you're learning to get to communicate directly from your quantum.
Yes.
And that's the real you, your quantum. And it's those 6 things. That's you. Right now, it's your magnificence. But as you merge with your magnificence, it's you. And it's only 6 things.
Could we have everybody mute, please? We're getting too much background noise.
Yeah. So,
Thank you, Diana.
we're ready to go to questions.
I have a question, Peter. Last week when I was driving on the freeway during the fires and all that, I drove by a very large truck, and the word on the back of the truck said dot. Blue lettering. And what was interesting is the D and the T were bolded. Can you tell me what the meaning of those initials are, D and T, within the word dot?
Well, use your magnificence. The point is of the dot.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a dot. I'm a dot. And boy, what powerful dots we have. So, it's part of the beauty of quantum is the simplicity. So don't let it get complex. It's dot.
Yeah.
And that's simple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's awesome to me. Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
Hey, for me, it's a sphere. So yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
it's more
Peter?
advanced sphere.
Peter, I have a question. Can you hear me? This is Donna.
Oh, yeah. No.
It's a simple question, but when in reading the Truth 97 colors, it says from quantum. Can you explain when you say there's no color in quantum, then it says colors from quantum?
It's another tool. See, quantum has all kinds of tools, but the quantum is the know, new, now, multiples, blood, stereo, strength. Those are all the quantum things, and then everything else is from quantum, but it's tool.
Okay, thank you.
Does that help, Donna?
Yes, it helps. I have one other simple one that maybe you've talked about before, but I still have a question. Excuse me. On Truth number 81, mastery. I noticed that you always write mastery in black rather than magenta.
It's actually green.
Okay, well, it comes up black on my computer.
Interesting.
So
it's green, dark green.
Okay.
Thank you, Donna D, because that was a question I had that I didn't know I had till you said it out loud.
Yeah.
That's the one question.
Another way to look at that, Donna, is that colors are identified by frequency, and frequency is energy. Like, for example, color white has a higher frequency than the color blue or green. So, because it is frequency, means that it's something on energy. So, quantum is not energy.
Okay.
Let's try a physical point of view.
Thank you. So, is the dark green then one step up from magenta?
No, it's just the after full education of magenta.
Okay.
You become the master.
So that's the dark green.
Correct.
Okay.
And that's where you get happy and fun and growth for both skills and as a person. You get all those things from being happy. When we started creation to move towards creation, we said, what's the most important quality? And the answer is happy. That everything else is not as high. And that's somewhere in the website, it's a description. I believe it's in the autobiography. But it's happy. And all the other ones are secondary to happiness. If you notice in the Declaration of Independence, happy isn't there. Pursuit of happiness is there. But happy isn't there. It's too far away. And happiness wasn't possible until strength manifests. And it manifested on June 2016. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have a question related to that. So color does not have a hierarchy, is that right?
Color is a tool.
Each color is unique.
Yeah.
But there's no hierarchy, meaning one is not more beneficial than the other.
There, it's part of balance.
Yeah.
I noticed blue. What do you?
Well, this is called the blue creation.
Okay.
Remember, there are 1,000 creations,
Right.
and this is a blue creation.
Okay. Thank you.
A blue dot. Yay.
Beautiful.
Which is probably related to spirit or not.
You're trying to make it too complex. It's simply there are 1,000 creations. Everyone has a color. This one's blue. The Milky Way galaxy is a blue creation.
Is Mars a red?
Mars is red.
Cool.
And
Well, maybe not cool.
what's war?
Red.
Because people die and they bleed.
And we all bleed red blood.
We all
So is that true of
have
other?
red blood. We all eventually get stereo from our being and also from our blood. And when we get to stereo, we can get information from either and both sources.
So do other beings have red blood?
By me?
Do other beings have red blood as well? Beings on other planets? And like
No.
even the reptilians?
Yeah, they have red blood, but they're on this.
And what, Peter?
That last part
What did you say?
I said that reptilians are on this planet, so therefore they have.
Therefore,
red
they
blood.
have red blood.
Right.
But if they're off planet, their blood would be different?
No, they'd just be without body.
Oh my. Wow.
They'd be who they really are.
Yeah, and they'll end up on planet X. They'll be in that third group.
Right.
And they will die there, and then they'll start over.
So is that in their lizard form?
No, it's in their human form also. I can look at a person and tell if they're reptilian or not.
So just by seeing a newscast or something?
No, it's just.
Or in person?
It's in person. And they don't know it. In most cases, they don't know it.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah, it's just one of the things that happens as you practice. You practice, balance, practice, balance, practice, balance. That's what it all boils down to. So practice isn't quantum, balance isn't quantum, but it's what we do. And now we can look at the threes, so we know balance, love, positivity are all related. So if you're not relating them, start relating them. It's simple. So it tightens things for you. Makes it more simple.
Yes, the connection.
And then if something, a question is asked that isn't accounted for or something is confusing, it's changed. Now, Bernadette, in your case, it was totally new to you, the Tesla thing, that you can use the Earth as a carrier. And
Yeah.
Tesla did that here in Colorado Springs. And he did it out to Cripple Creek, and it was 230 light bulbs. And he stuck them in the ground out there, and they lit up.
Peter, that's amazing. I just got through reading all about Tesla in Colorado Springs before you sent that. It was in a book by Joseph Farrell, and the name of the book, oddly enough, is it's mostly about financial stuff. It's called Babylon Banksters. But this whole section is details about all of that with Tesla that I did not know. And he goes into, you know, the torsion and the rotation and how the energy uses the planet as, you know, the antenna instead of the ground. And
right.
It is amazing. And he writes it in a way that, you know, I can comprehend it. So
that's excellent.
It's amazing that he was right there in Colorado Springs and did all this incredible stuff. Wow.
There's a place in Manitou Springs, which is right next to Colorado Springs. And there's still lots of Tesla technology there.
Wow.
And there's a bench where the Tesla technology triangulates, and the magnetic part really is strong right on that bench.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've spent hours sitting on that bench.
Wow, wow.
I wonder if it's like a Rife machine. Are you getting healed on the bench?
Well, the Rife machine really came from Tesla's knowledge. And back when I was doing that, the answer is yes. But I didn't know it. All I knew is it felt really good. It was the 90s.
You were having an electrifying experience.
Peter, Peter?
Magnetic is very different.
Well, right.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
Electrical is delay. And there's two types of electrical. There's AC and there's DC. And there was a huge battle between Edison and DC current. And you basically had to have a plant every 3 months for DC to work. Because DC attenuates and it loses power as it goes further and further away from the plant. And the power is at the power of 4. So for every foot of distance, you've lost. And by the time you've gone 3 miles, you just have to start over and put in another plant.
Which is exactly why they did it that way. Get more money.
Peter, I can't understand how that fits in with one of the things that I read, which was that the lightning, which apparently right there in Colorado Springs, there's tremendous lightning that goes on. And,
Right.
and he explained that the lightning that hit the ground there in Colorado Springs, that you thought was like just, I don't know, that it was just dissipated. But he said that his recording devices indicated that it was more like, he called it thumping a kettle drum, and that the vibrations would actually go through and then come back. And so the earth is reacting to the energy of lightning completely different from what we thought.
Right. Now, who else, when you search your memory banks, who else do you associate with lightning?
Benjamin Franklin.
Yep.
And who am I married to?
Nell.
Benjamin Franklin.
And who was Nell in a prior life?
Benjamin Franklin.
So, it's just, there are so many relationships. And it's simply a matter of connecting.
Right.
And simplifying.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that Nell knows that she was Benjamin Franklin in another life, right?
Oh, yeah. I call her Ben. She doesn't.
What did you say? How does she react?
That's fun.
Not well.
Not well. Oh, she doesn't like that, huh?
She doesn't like it.
That's cute.
But that's kind of in the category along with get your gaps. You know, it's you know different than they know. And that's part of the fun. The problem is there's only 1,000 truths. Everything else is false. And you only need one falsity to be off. You can have all the truths, but there's still one false that is truth to you. That's all you need. It's that one. And so many of your conclusions are off. That's why we try, and we are, thanks to all of it. The latest example is Alan. There was a Sharon, and she looked at it and said, "What's dangling?" And this was about 15 minutes before the call started. Well, it's already gone.
Yeah, and it was so funny because yesterday I knew that, but I didn't trust my magnificence all the way, right away. That was very interesting to go through that whole thing.
So, remember, thank you. But every one of you is on the path of 0 errors.
Yes.
So, you know enormous amounts, but you're all learning things you didn't know about. For example, Bernadette didn't know about magnetism. Now she does. She's not an expert on it, but she knows a lot more than she did when she asked me to explain it. It's like, it's just fact.
It is. Oh, dear.
The whole idea, we get together every week. And why do we do this? We go over and over. We learn more and more, and we share more and more. And that gets it even better. For example, we talked a lot about pivot. Now, the simple point is change, right? That's quantum is change. mastered change, you have mastered quantum. So, what happens if your distance drives, says, let's go have that experience? And somebody else change enters that experience also. But the whole experience is now different. And you simply pivot away. It's like a dance move. But you don't do it in a way that it hurts the other person's feeling, because that's negative energy. It's one of your skills, the ability to pivot faster. So you're doing a lot of pivoting.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Al.
I called Peter once, a couple months ago, maybe it was a few months ago, but one of the things he said to me, and everything that you said to me, Peter, has been so helpful because it was to my uniqueness. And one of the things I grew up with, I grew up in a house full of criticism. And Peter said, don't use criticism. Well, I've been working on that, and I'm pivoting in a good way. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Yay, Alex! Way to go, babe.
So
thank you.
Don't be afraid of experiences because they might go bad. Well, if they do go bad, pivot out of it. Bam! It's gone. And it's like a dive, and there's no ripple in the water. It's so smooth, they don't even know that you're gone. In my day, one of the divers was called Greg Louganis, and he could enter the water and not make us ripple. Well, do a Greg Louganis. Your pivot is so fast and so professional and so smooth, they don't even know that there's been a change.
Hey, Peter.
Yes.
One key word that you use, and I love it, is that you said that all of us are in the path of zero error.
Right.
That's the key word. On the path, because we are not there yet, which means that it is probably that we will be making a mistake, but we cannot kill ourselves because we made a mistake. We cannot put a lot of pressure on us because we made a mistake. We will get there. We have our best intention to get there, zero mistake. But for now, be aware you find a mistake, work on it, and with your best intention.
That's right. You give yourself no grief. And it's the key word's better. I'm going to get better at that. I could have, there's 6 relationships. So there's 18 words, right? Well, I could have made and barter and quantum analog, but I didn't because it just gets too many. So, for example, I've gotten a lot of emails that really appreciate the fact that you're going from 81 to 44.
Yes.
I mean, that's huge.
Huge.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of happened by magic. And we've added and added and added. And all of a sudden, it made the 37 not necessary. So it's now 44. And the magic words are kind of pre-quantum, except low. And then the quantum part, we we have 600,000 truths for you all to see, and you'll automatically do the other 400. You won't even recognize it. You just know how to do it. And it's all really comes out of that home webpage first thing. It gets a little bigger and a little bigger. Just keep going over that and over it. I mean, for those of you that don't have to go to the website often, spend 5 minutes there, someplace. And the rest of it is practice. Balance, whatever you're practicing. Keep it simple. But go to the website. Because it's all connected. And eventually you will have 0 errors on truth. Right? That's the 0 errors is using truth. You will not make any mistakes. All 1,000. And that's really when you'll graduate. And you'll recognize it by the way you handle quantum analog. You'll be able to change like weather. You'll be able to move hail from the size of tennis balls or softball, and they'll be the size of peas. And you'll need 4.5 seconds to do that. There's no way to teach that except through mastery.
And practice.
Pardon me?
And practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Practice, right. Practice and balance. Practice, but 2 words.
Mm-hmm.
Practice.
I've practiced with cloudy weather and am able to, within seconds, make those clouds disappear. And then I got sunshine back.
Congratulations.
Yay, Diana.
Yay.
Well, the new weather forecasters.
So, you'll know. Sure, it's going to be every once in a while you choose to jump in the dryer. And man, you'll come out of that so fast. You didn't make any errors.
Mm-hmm.
You just practice pivoting. That's all you do.
Yeah.
Pivoting is not an error.
Yeah.
And situation changing. Just pivot gone. And pivot in a way where nobody realized it's been a pivot. It's gainus. It's entering the water and there's time entering the water. In the case of pivot, you pivot and there's time. And people say, what? Because they're in the dryer. You pivoted out.
That's really helpful.
Yeah. Peter, I have a question. Is that dryer just in 3D or is it part of it in 5D also?
Oh, it's totally in 5D. If you analyze 5D, you have the dryer and new rules.
Yes. All right.
Go ahead.
The high consciousness also, right?
Yeah, high consciousness. What's the difference between high consciousness and low consciousness? It's still conscious,
Yes.
right? That's
A whole lot
the
of mind.
point.
Computers, yes.
Blah, blah, blah,
And
blah, blah.
Yeah, it's still, That's why it's pre-quantum.
Yeah. And so you jump out of one dryer and move to the next one, yeah?
Right. It's
with a smile.
bigger drive.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Quantum doesn't have a dryer.
Yay for,
Quantum doesn't have a dryer, does it?
No.
yay for attention, everybody's waiting for that one. They're just going from one to another, just. And the galactics are here watching.
I really like those pictures, Wendy, of the clouds.
Oh, thank
of
you.
First, and then right after that, the cloud. That was neat. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Hey, Nareen.
Thank you, Wendy.
We need to remember that being in the dryer is part of the endless experiences that we came to have here. So don't try to put that aside that we don't want to have that. If you are there, you are there. Enjoy it, learn,
Enjoy it.
get out of there as soon as you can. But that's part of the experience, endless experiences.
You're right.
And love yourself through it.
Yes.
Because it is an experience. And
When
that's what
we
we're
get-
here for.
When we get to be
No.
100% quantum,
Yeah,
we can feel comfortable.
I see the dryer and I pivot really fast. So I don't need to get in there.
Say it again.
So good for you.
Yeah.
May you say it again, Nareen?
I said, I see the dryer and I pivot really fast because I don't need to get in there. He's been there and done that.
He's been there, done that.
Me too, but I am compassionate with people that they are in the dryer. And if I can do my best to help anyone in the dryer to clear their mind and to be better, I will do that.
Without judgment.
Without judgment, exactly.
Oh, really?
Because that is love.
So you're replacing their magnificence with you, huh?
No, not necessarily. But the point is that I'm not supposed to be judging anyone that be in the dryer.
Yeah.
I'm making laugh of them because they are having certain type of experiences. I don't feel good doing that myself. And I respect the point of view and that anyone can have, but as a collective, being the dry is part of the experience.
There's
Part of the uniqueness.
We're
you have
bringing
been
up
there.
an interesting point. There are well over 100 now coming to the website.
Oh.
When I take those that are coming to the website, there are less spiritual egos in play than we have. So, for some reason, there are 12 that are stuck by spiritual ego. And that is, so you have 12 as a percent of 42. Now, each one of those people think they're quantum, but they're not. They're being held back by spiritual ego. When I take all of those who are looking at the website, there is the percent with spiritual ego imbalances drop. So that's very interesting to me. And it simply boils down to education. And education really boils down to practice and balance, and eventually everything becomes the same. Ego did its job remember, ego is common. We each don't have an ego. It's a spiritual ego. We all use one ego, and it is powerful. And boy,
You mean trickster? You mean trickster? One common.
hi Judy, yeah, the trickster.
You said eagle.
Exactly. It's using ego and it's using fear. And it's common.
Because the trickster
So
will use.
I don't have a different one than Bernadette or Judy or Hector or Nuna. We all use the same one. It is powerful.
Peter, what seems to be so important is that we have these hidden fears, and under those fears are false beliefs.
Correct.
Not quantum truths.
Correct.
And so I find what can be tricky about understanding when it's spiritual ego is that, you know, like your intention is good and it's positive, but it's actually not based on a quantum truth. It's a false belief.
Correct.
So what's so important is to understand that we are all working on being our magnificence. And so, yes, it is super important to have love and compassion and support others, but our journey is first to return to quantum and be quantum, and we can only do that with our relationship with our magnificence.
Correct.
Something I have had to learn. I love helping people, supporting people, all of that. What has been interesting for me personally is to recognize when I actually could be interfering and not stepping back and taking a look at, I need to be responsible for my own life. And even in doing my work, I need to also see that other person needs to be 100% responsible for their life.
I totally agree with you, Diana. And I'll tell you, the dryer analogy is so fascinating. Not only do we not want to jump in the dryer with them, but as another return to quantum person said this week, you don't want to drag them out of the dryer.
Correct.
They have to get out themselves.
Correct.
Each of us is responsible for ourselves.
For ourselves.
And the best way we can help anybody is be the very best that we can be, which is return to quantum analog.
Yay.
Period.
Enjoy quantum
Well
love
said.
in your heart. Enjoying quantum love in your heart, that's the biggest accomplishment and the most beautiful experience that we can have. And if many of you can remember to that time, that October 14 at Harry House, what a beautiful moment we had as a collective, as a group. That's something that you will never forget, the one that were there.
No.
And that's more valuable than anything else that we can get.
Right.
That's quantum love, that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Now remember, love comes from balance.
Exactly.
And then the other derivative from balance, you have love and you have positivity. And I'll tell you, there are many situations where you're going to be at a loss to be positive. And that simply takes practice. But if you're not positive, you haven't practiced enough that area.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is meant to be simple. And if you notice, we've gone from about 15,500 words, we're now 1,000 words below that. That's enormous practice, because that means every single word, you don't have to spend any time on it, because you're getting it from the more simple version.
Yeah.
And you're getting it from, instead of 81, you're at 44.
Yeah.
That's enormous.
It's the strength also, right? It's growing.
And it's ever since the quickening allowed us 14,100 super cycles. It's a long time. It's 500,000. So what's the Bible about? We're dealing with what do we have to go? 4 million. We're basically 10% there. And what happened? That 90%. We're so aware of every nuance to us and to all the free people.
Yes.
It's more. Well, wince in, it doesn't. It's amazing. It's why we're working with the word and the less. So, yeah, the things learned. That's why we're doing it.
Yes.
Because we have fun doing it. So,
That's true.
It's almost an hour.
Yes, Peter, it's 55 minutes.
Yeah. Any
And
last
we have
minute?
2 calls.
Hi, Dee.
I would like to make a comment. I've noticed several people are tired, and most of us seem to be very thirsty. I think the Schumann resonance chart today is really, really high. So pamper yourself, drink lots of fluids, get rest. It's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing
Thank you,
that up.
Diana. That's helpful.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Remember,
thank
the
you.
point of change looks to be like 10 of us ascended with 2,200 with the temple. In the temple, synchronized with stars, the base 700 feet, synchronized with, and we took time in a sense, and we did it in a way where all was rendered. No gravity.
Yes.
And we took it with us. Didn't weigh anything. And why leave it behind? So that's what we do. And there is a similar moment coming up on 11th and which means on this 20.
When? I missed what you said.
You're cutting out, Peter. Can you please repeat all of that?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're coming to a point where things are basically going to be gravity, and everything will be taken over by gravity. Nothing will be anything. No tools, no nothing. This has been held by the Aboriginals in Australia. The guy's name is A.K. And Aku, one of the things he is to be on the ground during that moment. And he doesn't understand the way we're understanding, but 10 of us were there, 22, and we took everything, all 10 of us. Only one of the 10 spiritually up. The other 9 gone through that. And so that moment is it's like a witching moment. So that's why I went the 3 decades to 2 years.
2 years, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
What now?
Time sooner, yay!
What are you saying?
I missed a lot of that.
It's cutting a lot.
Cutting out.
It's all on the website in the first page.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about the speeding up to just 2 years instead of
30.
Right.
30. Okay, right.
And it's because of the present, and it was revealed by Aku, who was like an elder of the elder.
Okay.
Of the Aborigines.
Okay.
So instead of 3 decades, fucking 2 years.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yay.
That's
Wow,
another
powerful.
reason for the acceleration. So everything fits together.
Yes.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
So any other last minute questions?
Yes, so this Aku, is there something to read about what he's
Aku?
saying?
Yeah, the website. It's all there.
Okay.
And plus what I've just shared.
Yeah.
But really understand every single word in that first section. It's got everything.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Peter.
everybody.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
So
Bye, everybody.
continue to have fun.
I love
Yes.
you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, have fun.
Thank you. Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey,
Bye.
remember to
Bye.
restart your engines or devices like this.
One more
Yes.
Tuesday till October, right?
Yes.
One more Tuesday till October.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we have
Bye,
two-
Alfred. I
we have
see
two
you.